You came and you paid, surveyed the property you made. Put in an offer you didn't have to say. Higher than May for real. It's feeling like God in here. Bitch got that grace appeal. They stick with annoying what else am I supposed to feel? Won't you come in, put your feet up, how you waiting here? Let me back up while you do you, I'm on NFL. Check my feng shui, I can rearrange, that's a chandelier. Get a show ready where you set it up, it's a grand premiere.
The girl talking gotta make them feel. I'm something special, I ain't just a vessel. I found your word was my way to heal. Now I'm outside trying to spread the message. The devil dripping, he been causing wreckage. My testimony went from declining to the upper hand, finally gave me leverage. What I felt was a stretch, it led to agility. You were the balance, I needed stability. All the allure, spirit so pure, but Father the Son like the holiest Trinity. Open arms, I receive the blessings. In every lesson, hope to see progression. The more you lead me to community, the more I see a need for intercession. Gotta pray for.
I'll be your temple, I'll be your sanctuary. You can come dwell here, won't you come and fill me? Jesus, have your way.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the F.L.Y Show, where I am yours truly, Jasmine D. Village, and I want to apologize for being tardy for the party, but I had some things that I had to complete behind the scenes, and I'm excited about the announcement that I have coming up on this evening. I cannot wait to share with you all what I have been working on, what the Lord is telling me that I need to be doing in this season, and how I have to be obedient, right? So tonight, y'all, tonight. Good evening. And again, welcome back to the F.L.Y Show, where the F.L.Y stands for First Love You. For everyone that is tuning in back with me here, I want to welcome you all back. Everyone that is new, again, welcome to the F.L.Y Show. I am your host, Jasmine D. Millage, and I am here with you, dropping new episodes every single week at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, y'all. To this month, as we know, it is Women's Month, and y'all, God has been doing some amazing things, I can say the least. So, first of all, how y'all doing? How is y'all doing? I hope y'all doing all right. I hope y'all had a great day. I hope y'all had a wonderful week. I hope your night is going well. I pray that, you're having a peaceful time. You're not in any type of turmoil, no matter what it may seem, no matter what life is doing. I thank you all so much for tuning in with me for your weekly dose of energy, your weekly dose of motivation, and your weekly dose of inspiration. Now, tonight, excuse me if I'm moving around a little bit because I'm trying to get my stuff set up. For some reason, this camera it ain't doing what I wanted to do. So, y'all, we gonna set this thing up just a little bit higher, and we gonna make that thing work like that. All right, so again, welcome. But tonight we're gonna be diving into, because I'm the type of person that I had to label myself and come to realize that I can be a procrastinator, and not just a procrastinator in things that I know I'm supposed to be doing, like, just life wise, but even with when God tells me, that there's something I'm supposed to be doing. I have been known to be a procrastinator. And so it had me, just really thinking like, God, how many more people out here is really thinking, oh, okay, I'm gonna just take a break. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna take a rest real quick. But you really just out here, and you just out here being disobedient, and you thinking you resting, but you really resisting what you're supposed to be doing. So, because it's a difference between taking a rest and taking a rest. We ain't talking about, just going to sleep. We ain't talking about just taking a break, but we're talking about the type of rest that will allow you to breathe, reset, and move forward in clarity and peace and understanding. But some of us are not actually understanding the real definition and the real path of what resting looks like. You know, We say we weigh in on God, we say we ain't moving, we say we gonna take our time, but when you actually think about it, you're just really avoiding what he's telling you to do. You're just really avoiding his process. So it's kind of like you got to ask yourself, are you refusing to surrender to his timing, his healing, and his peace? Or you just saying, I'm just gonna take a break? And I had to ask my, I had to, I had to come to that realization that I shut my whole everything down. I had a program, I was doing the show, I was doing speaking events, I had a whole lot of stuff going on, but I allowed the things of life to shut me down. And I used the excuse that I was going to take a break, that I was going to take a rest, that I was burnt out. Yes, burnout is a real thing, but at some point, how long are you going to be using that excuse? How long are you going to be saying, oh, okay, I'm just resting? How long is that going to be what you tell yourself, right? So we finna get real, and we finna get real, transparent. So many people think they're just taking a break, but what you're doing, you're avoiding the deeper work of rest. That's what you're doing. And this topic is so important because we often think that we're just taking a moment, or we're just pausing in life. But what you really have to understand is that resistance can be disguised as productivity. It disguises itself as a distraction. It can even disguise itself as self-care. But true rest really requires surrendering. So this episode is gonna be me helping you, and also helping myself to identify where we are resisting, and how can we step and understand what the definition of true rest is. So my question for you, just for you to think about and ponder on, and if you want to answer it in the chat, feel free. Have you ever felt like no matter how much you rest, you still wake up exhausted? You wake up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning. You get up, you want to get a snack, or you get a glass of water because you're hot and you're waking up out of your sleep. And or if you are sleeping all through the night and you wake up at 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, thinking you bright out in Bushes Hill, getting ready to go to work, and you're exhausted, you're mentally tired, you're physically drained, and you feel like you have nothing left, nowhere to go, just no zeal, no nothing, right? So I want you to really think about, you know, what it is that you're feeling in those moments of the exhaustion. What it is do you think you're doing? What it is that you think you're not doing? Why do you feel like you're not really resting the way that you're supposed to be resting? And what I had to take a look at, I had to go take a look at the definition of what these words really mean. Because yeah, again, we think taking a break, resting, we think is going to sleep, sitting on the sofa watching a movie, chilling out, whatever the case may be. Rest can sometimes mean more than just stop working. It can be a state of mental, emotional, and physical peace. That's what resting really means. It is being in a total surrendering space of peace. It is about feeling safe enough to let go of control, feeling like you just got to be in control of everything. Like, if I don't know how something's going to go, I'm not going to do it. Or if I don't know if, I'm going to go left, if this is going to go left or right, I don't know if this is going to go good or bad, then I don't want to have anything to do with it. We psych ourselves out of so much because we want to have control, which turns into I want to be a perfectionist, which turns into I'm supposed to be doing this, but I ain't gonna do it yet because it ain't looking the way I want it to look. Because I don't have the people that I want to have. I don't have the things that I got that I want to have. I don't have the team that I need. I don't have everything that is meant for me. So what you end up doing is you end up resisting what you're supposed to be doing. You end up taking a moment and saying, okay, well, I'm just gonna sit this right here. What that causes unwarranted levels of stress and the need to constantly be on. You know what I'm saying? Getting real rest restores you on so many levels, while fake rest only postpones exhaustion. you're slowly causing yourself to take a pause on your exhaustion. Resistance Resistance is when we are actively or passively pushing back against something that we may need to face. It can be your healing. It can be having a conversation with someone that has wronged you, or having a conversation with your supervisor for a position that you may want, having a conversation with your team, with your spouse, with your children, or even having a conversation with God about what he wants you to be doing in this next season. Sometimes we're resisting, and I can't even say we, I can only say me, because I know y'all don't do things like that. So, I'm not going to talk about y'all like that. So I'll talk about myself, right? For me personally, I can just give a brief story of my own personal resistance. Again, like with the show, I wasn't, I did not want to be here, like for real. And I'm just being completely honest and transparent. I'm not finna sugarcoat. Y'all know I don't sugarcoat nothing. I don't hide nothing. I ain't got nothing. I don't have nothing. Like my daddy said, I ain't got nothing to hide, nothing to defend, and nothing to protect. I am who I am. I'm gonna tell you like it is, and I'm not gonna hide anything. Because if you don't want anything else in this day and season, transparency and honesty should be exactly what and my thing is, you deserve honesty. You deserve transparency. You deserve authenticity. So yes, I didn't want to be here. I didn't like. I was comfortable with going to work. I was comfortable with taking care of my children, seeing my kids off to school. I was comfortable with Christian going to kindergarten, and I was comfortable with being in college and finishing my degree and working my healthcare job. I was comfortable. I was like, okay, God, I didn't made it now. But sometimes what you think is comfortability, that's the devil keeping you in stagnation. That's the trick of the enemy to distract you from what God is actually telling you to do. So you're technically mentally exhausted, and you're not resting in God the way you're supposed to be resting in him. You're not resting on the path that you're supposed to be on. So sis, bruh, you're resisting what you're supposed to be doing. Because now, don't get me wrong, I ain't telling you I ain't quit your job. I ain't telling you none of that, because bills, they come in every single week. Okay, amen, God bless you. And they have to be paid. We got to work. We got to do what we have to do to make sure this house is taken care of, these kids are fed, these clothes get put on our back, this roof stay over our head. Because with the way this economy is blowing up, baby, okay, hear me when I say, you need to be out here doing something. I don't care if it's a hustle, bustle, a scuffle, or a job. Figure it out, right? But there are some people that God is telling you, you got to go higher. But the enemy is standing in your face telling you and making you feel like, nah, I'm good where I'm at. I'm comfortable where I'm at. When God is trying to tell you, he is speaking to you ever so lightly. And people be looking for that, my child voice. God ain't doing all that. He ain't doing all that. He like, look, girl, sir, I need you to get over here and do what I told you to do. I need you to get your behind over here and come on and get this work. That's what I need you to be doing. So we look like, resistance can look like you're avoiding stuff. It looks like you're distracted. Again, it looks like you're wanting to be in control. And then not only that, you're overcompensating. You trying to do too much. You got your hands in everything. You over here in the PTA. You over here on the soccer team. You're coaching basketball. You're coaching football. You're a cheerleader mom. You're doing this. You own the science club. You're going to beta club. You're going here. You got a cheer competition. You're doing hair. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, you're overcompensating for the one thing that you're supposed to be doing. So yeah, it looked like, oh, I'm booked and busy, but baby, you're tired. Call an ace and a spade. You're tired. Okay. Many people resist rest because they fear what they're gonna have to deal with when they slow down. So you get so you look to be hands on. You look to be busy because you're afraid of your thoughts. You're afraid of what you're gonna hear. You're afraid of the silence. You're so used to the noise. You're so used to the distraction. You're so used to the chaos. You're so used to the confusion that it's become a security blanket for you that you don't know what real risk looked like if it slapped you in your face and kicked you down a flight of steps. You wouldn't even know what it was. So you have to ask yourself when you say, "Oh, I'm a rest and I'm a recharge for a little bit," are you really recharging or are you just numbing yourself with a temporary distraction? What really happens when you try to rest? Do you feel at peace or is your mind always running? Do you feel anxiety? Do you feel stressful even when you in your bed stressed out, thinking you finna get ready to go to sleep? You waking up and you tired. You waking up like you ain't even been asleep. What are you so afraid of that is going to happen if you slow down? What are you so afraid of? You think the world going to stop turning? The world ain't going to stop turning until God say so. It ain't going to end until he say, all right, that's it. That's it. That's all. Bye. Zero zilch. I'm out of here. That's when that's going to end because you don't have the authority for nothing to slow down if you stop. Let me tell you something. And okay, that even comes with sometimes as a parent. Don't mean to step on your street, but I'm finna step on some of y'all street. Okay. And I'm gonna step on my street too. So again, none of y'all, because I know y'all don't do that. So I'll talk about myself. But if the shoe fit, put it on. Okay. Some of us as parents, we do so much. Y'all, my hands ashy. Why y'all ain't telling me my hands ashy? I ain't gonna show y'all. But anyway, we do so much and run so much for our children. Yeah, granted, them our babies, and we gotta take care of our babies. But sometimes you're running so much for your child again because you're scared of what's going to happen if you slow down and really have to sit inside of your thoughts. Not to say that's everybody, but that could be by one or 12 of y'all. Okay, you run so much. You got to go here. You got to go there. You want to do this. You want to do that. You got to be involved in this. You got to be involved in that because you're afraid of what's going to happen if you just say, let me rest for the day. All right. So I'm going to give you some signs that you're resisting instead of resting. Right. And I want you to think about it. Because again, this is some stuff that I had to think about. This is some stuff that I had to come into realization. I had to think about one, I'm overworking when I don't even have to. I'm putting so much effort into so much that is my phone. Take off your phone. No. Mm-mm. I'm putting so much into what I don't have to, causing myself to overwork. But I don't even have to do that. I'm trying to I'm trying to feel every single moment. Go close the door. I'm trying to go upstairs and close the door. Go upstairs and close the door. I'm trying to feel every single moment with something. I'm trying to feel every single second with something to do. I'm looking for something to put my hands on. I'm looking for a project. I'm looking for somebody that I can, pour into. I'm looking for a life I want to fulfill. When you over here, when in all actuality, I'm just scared to be still because it makes me uncomfortable. It made me uncomfortable. I was afraid to be sitting here by myself like this. Afraid. But then I had to ask myself, what are you scared of? You scared of yourself? Are you really scared of yourself? Because you've been with yourself for the last almost 40 years. What you scared of? Is you going to bite you? You going to jump out of your skin and you going to bite yourself? Like, what are you afraid of? Be okay with sitting still. Be okay with sitting still. You don't have to measure your productivity with your well-being. That's something else that we do. We measure our worth by our productivity than our well-being. How are you for real? Most people be like, "Hey, girl, how you doing?" "Oh, girl, I'm blessed and highly favored, and I got this and 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 this." You running down the list of a million things, but you're not really telling them how you feel. You're not able to explain how you doing. When you don't have the capacity or the vernacular to explain how you doing, a simple question, that lets you know you're doing too much. You're overworking. When somebody say, "Can you tell me who you are? Tell me a little bit about yourself." "Oh, I'm a this, I'm a ta 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 ta," and you don't have no type of self identity outside of your titles. That means you're overworking yourself. Secondly, you using distractions as a coping mechanism. So instead of resting, you binge watch a series all day long. You scrolling on social media, and you keeping yourself busy with meaningless activities, right? You don't allow your mind to be still long enough to process any of your thoughts or any of your emotions. You're out here avoiding deep reflection, you're avoiding uncomfortable emotions. Rest is often bringing up thoughts and feelings that you don't want to process, things that you don't want to deal with, hurt that you have not healed from, anger that you have not released yet. You're resisting rest because you don't want to deal with the things that you thought you let go of. You don't want to go back to the unresolved pain that you had. And you don't want to have to ask the questions about, what does my future look like? You're avoiding all of that. It's like you don't want to sit down and have a deep thought provoking conversation with yourself. Most people be like, "Oh, you crazy if you talk to yourself," and especially if you answer back. Well, baby, you should be your own best friend, because if you ain't your friend, who else gonna be your friend? If you don't know who you are, how are you gonna show someone else who you are? You come around here showing these facades and you showing these facades, and you putting up this representative, but you can't really be your true authentic self, because you always got to put on airs. You always got to put up a fake in the front. You got to make it more than what it really is. And you doing too much. And then not only that, sometimes some people, they feel bad about taking a break. They feel bad about taking a break. You feel like you didn't earn a break. You feel like you didn't earn the chance to rest. I got so much to do. I got to do this. You struggling with feeling lazy, even when your body and your mind needs to recover. You do know that it's okay to be. When I tell you, my sister, I love her with all my heart. When I tell you that baby know how to set a boundary, hear me when I say, I didn't know what setting boundaries were. But when it's time for her to rest, like all the way, I ain't got the mental capacity to do what you need me to do right now. Holler at me tomorrow. Or I'll text you in at whatever. Give me a minute. You have to be able to know how to set boundaries so that you can allow yourself the proper mental rest that you need. And don't feel so obligated to always be on go mode for people that ain't on for you. And even if they is on, sometimes it's okay for you to be off. How about that? You constantly on burnout. Even when you take time off, even when you on sabbaticals, you still don't come back feeling rejuvenated. You still don't come back with nothing new. You don't come back with no type of agenda, no type of thought process, no type of principles, no type of release, no type of healing, no type of nothing, because you truly did not rest. It ain't just about stopping, it's about how you stop. And whether you fully allow yourself to release whatever stress you've been holding. If you don't understand the dynamics of how to really stop yourself, you're not fully resting, you're resisting. and you're trying to maintain control over a situation when you don't understand that you're literally mentally draining yourself. The fear and the root cause of resistance, from what I, discovered, is that we fear that we're going to lose control. We fear that resisting arrest because we feel like we can't stop. Something going to happen if I don't show up. If I'm not there to bake these cookies, if I'm not there to blow this whistle at this game, if I'm not there to say I in a meeting because I second that motion, you believe that if you ain't there to do this one little inch of a part, that it's going to fall off, that the world going to blow up, and World War IV is going to happen. The belief that if I don't do it, no one else will, leads to unhealthy self-reliance. And it doesn't give you the ability to learn how to delegate anything to anyone, because you feel like if I want it done right, I got to do it myself. That's not always the case. That just means you need to get some people around you that you can delegate to, that knows you just as well as you know yourself, that you don't have to second guess or question if they're going to do what you need them to do the right way. Because when you have the capability to know that I can delegate and I can get this to you, you can really have a more productive day, and you can breathe a little bit. You can feel a little wiggle room of digressing. Taking a rest forces you to be still. And sometimes being still, again, it can be uncomfortable, because you digging up and you thinking about the past hurts that you've been through, life decisions that you made, things that you wish that you would have did when you were younger, even things you wish you would have did last week. You're having to face unprocessed emotions, unprocessed hurt, unprocessed anger, unprocessed addiction, maybe unprocessed guilt, unprocessed fear. Society glorifies busyness, and it makes us feel like we always got to be doing something. You ain't got to always be on for the people. For what? Because half of these people, these 30-second, 60-second reels, clips that y'all be looking at, half of them is just a mirror picture of what people want you to see. Not to say that, they live in a lie, but some people be out here lying. Y'all know that. Some people go out here, they make this content for 32 seconds and they get sit on their sofa and cross their feet all day. Like, for real. All these ASMR people, same thing. They're in it for the likes, clickbait. That's all it is. It's clickbait. We feel like we don't deserve the rest because it's going to show that we're not worthy. It's going to prove or make us feel or make someone feel like we ain't got no value. Your value don't rest in the heart or the hands of a man or a woman, for that matter. It don't rest in the hands of a human. You were already chosen for exactly what he called you to do. You were already granted access for what he called you to do. The thing is, you have to stop being disobedient and just do it. And again, I ain't talking to y'all. I'm talking to myself, because I know y'all don't do that. Okay? Y'all ain't out here being disobedient. Y'all ain't out here not doing what God told y'all to do. Y'all ain't out here doing that, right? Y'all are trusting the process of rest. Y'all out here getting y'all good little sleep, right? I would hope so. And if not, these are some things that you got to think about. Like, some people never really truly experience deep rest. So they feel like it's not possible. It's not humanly possible for me to rest. It's not humanly possible for me to say, I'm not doing it. It's not humanly possible. That's what some people believe. They see taking a break or getting sleep as a waste of time rather than an investment in yourself. You invest in these walkers, these fahas that be sucking and tugging and getting your guts out of your lap. You be investing in these teas, you invest in these wigs, you invest in these stock markets, you invest in the football, you invest in basketball, you gambling with the lottery, you doing all these things. But why not make the same important investment in yourself? Because you are not a waste of time. You're just being disobedient. That's it. There is one thing in particular that you have been called to do, and you ain't doing that because you're scared. You so distracted and you so on and you so booked and busy that you can't even hear the things that God is telling you to do. And for the ones that's booked and busy and they hear God, I ain't talking to you. Because baby, hear me when I say we trying to get there. Understand? So my next question for you is to just think about it. What is stopping you from really fully embracing rest? Is it fear? Is it guilt? Or is it something deeper? Is it something that you can't even vocalize at the moment? Is it something that you've even thought about? Is it something that you may even understand? Right? We have to learn how to break the cycle of resistance and start embracing true rest. That comes with identifying what you're resisting. Reflect on the areas of where you struggle to slow down at. And again, ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Why am I so afraid of myself? Because at the end of the day, you ain't afraid of nothing else. You're afraid of you. Fear, you don't fear nothing. You fear yourself. We fear success. We fear failure. Then that's what you fear. You fear death. Three things: failure, success, and death are the three main things that I can think of. That I can think of. Now, if I'm wrong, you want to add a little more, add a little more in the comments. Fear, you fear life, you fear death, success, and failure. Fearing success is another form of disobedience because it keeps you stagnant where you are when you know what you're supposed to be doing. So you have to redefine resting as a necessity and not as a luxury. Resting is not an escape. It's a strategic movement because it will allow you to function at your best rather than having to push yourself through exhaustion. And you have to learn how to practice being still. Set aside, I don't care if it's 32 seconds, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, take a minute. On your if you work a job on your 15 minute, everybody get 15 minutes. On your 15-minute break, sit there, cut your phone off, put it on pause, breathe, right? Just sit there. And just sit there. Check in with how you're really feeling in your day. Check in with how you're processing your thoughts for the day. Check in with your emotions. Check in with your mental level. Check in with your clarity level. Check in with your peace. Check in with your joy. Don't just fill your moments with noise. Allow your mind to really and truly settle down. And most importantly, well, second to most important, you need to learn to let go of wanting to control everything. Trust that things will still be okay, even if you take a break. No, because I'm on show. The world is not going to fall apart if you don't take a break. It's actually going, it might get a little better because when you take a break and when you rest, you get to truly show up as yourself. You get to show up as fully rejuvenated. You get to show up renewed. You get to show up restored because you're not resisting. You're really and full, you're truly resting. And create some healthy boundaries. Okay. Learn how to say no and stop overcommitting yourself. Protect your time. Protect your time. Okay. Protect your time. Pay attention to how you feel after you rest. If you still feel drained, that means you may have to switch up the type of rest that you're getting. So, my challenge for you is to think about what is one small change that you can make to fully embrace true rest. What is one small thing that you can do that you can, one small change that you can make that allows you to fully embrace rest? And I want you to reflect on this. Rest isn't about doing anything. It's about creating space for what truly matters. If you've been resisting, maybe it's time for you to fully let go. And it's time for you to allow yourself to breathe again. Where have you been resisting rest in your life? What changes have you been making? What changes would you need to make? What changes do you need to make? Hold on, y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. What changes do you need to make? I had to pull my little baby over here because he want to get in on his little action too. So it's like you have to know what type of changes will you make to embrace your true rest. So that brings me to something I want to introduce. Right, I have been. This has been a topic that has been pondering in my mind for a while. And it's just within the last 48 to 72 hours, if not longer than that. I'm really truly understanding that this is not just it. This is not just what God has for me. This is not just what He wants me to do. There is a step higher that I am meant to take. I need you to turn that down for just a second, okay? All right, there you go. And I'm understanding that there are things that I have to step into that are uncomfortable, that are slightly familiar, but it's going to be a little bit different. So I have a special announcement that I am dropping here live on tonight. So y'all bear with me and watch this. So I want to introduce to you the newly coaching program by myself, Coach Jasmine. It is called the Gym, and that is the Gracefully Embracing Me program. I am excited to get back started in the coaching realm. Uh, I am nervous. I'm excited, but I'm excited. I'm prayerful, and I am looking for God to make a move in not only my life but the lives of so many people. So if you are looking for that program where you can come and release and do different things. We're going to be doing so many things. So I hope you all stick with me and tune in and stay here. Follow me on all social media platforms because I have a lot of things that I am working on. We're going to be doing some coffee and conversations. We're going to be doing some dinner chats where we're going to be meeting up at restaurants and having open conversation with ladies and gentlemen. It's open to anybody. So it's not just for the females, because I want my guys, I want, men, they need to have their space too. Now, I'm not a man, but I know a lot of men that are open to, really pour into the men of the, like we are. So I have so many things that are lining up. So again, it is called the gym. It is the Gracefully Embracing Me program, and I am so excited to get back into this space where I can be creative, where I can help women and men launch into who God has called them to be. So I ask that, you know just stick with me, right? And if you want to be a part of the program, you can hit me up in my inbox. Let me know in the comments. Follow me on social media. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And again, make sure you stay tuned in with me here, because we have so many announcements that are coming up with different things that we're going to be doing in the communities. And we may be traveling across state lines too as well. So if you're you don't have to be in Georgia. If you're in another state and you want to do it in your state, we can bring the gym to you. All right. So we are here looking to get our lives and claim our lives, and do what God has called us to do. And that starts in the gym. Right. All right. So thank you all so much for tuning in with me here on the F.L.Y Show, where the F.L.Y stands for First Love You. I am greatly appreciative for each and every one of you that tunes in with me here. If you have not subscribed, make sure you go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you click the bell button so you can be notified anytime I go live or anytime a video drops. And don't forget to make sure that you are truly resting and not resisting, because you cannot fully and truly rest in who God has called you to be because you're resisting and being disobedient. And most importantly, don't forget to first love you, because you absolutely deserve it. Good night, everybody.
I'll be your temple.